Now, in the face of an astounding gun violence crisis in America, the top U.S. court has ruled that Americans have a fundamental right to carry a handgun in public. It's a watershed moment for a country that's witnessing growing call for limits on firearms at a time when America is grappling with shocking surge in gun crime. This comes as a landmark decision with far-reaching implications. It has in fact rendered all debates around the gun epidemic as irrelevant. The top court, with conservative majority, sided with advocates who said, and I quote, "The U.S. Constitution guarantees the right to own and carry guns." The ruling is the first by the court in a major Second Amendment case in over a decade. The 6-3 ruling also overturned a more than century-old New York law that required a person to prove that they had legitimate self-defense needs to receive a gun permit. The ruling has repercussions across the United States, as it will prevent states from restricting people who carry guns. Several other states, including California, have similar laws, and the court's ruling will curb their ability to restrict people from carrying guns in public. U.S. President Joe Biden has called this decision as a bad decision. Biden denounced the ruling, saying it contradicts both common sense and the Constitution. Biden called on Americans across the country to make their voices heard on gun safety, as he urged that America must do more as a society to protect Americans and not less. Listen in.
I am disappointed in the Supreme Court gun decision. There is one little bit of solace in the minority making up the majority opinion has laid out that it affects not every state. It affects only 40 states, a lot of states it affects.
New York officials expressed shock and outrage, warning the move would undermine public safety. New York City's mayor expressed concerns about his town becoming, and I quote, the Wild West. Mayor Eric Adams said it may have opened an additional river feeding the sea of gun violence. While New York governor said that the decision marked a dark day. Meanwhile, New York City Police Commissioner said that the ruling did not change the facts on the ground. For now, at least, she said, and I quote again, anyone carrying a gun illegally in New York City will be arrested. Listen in.
Today's Supreme Court decision may have opened an additional river that is going to feed the sea of gun violence in our city and in our nation. Now is the time for every elected official who cares about the safety of all Americans to come together and respond thoroughly and comprehensively to this appalling decision.
California's governor said that the 6-3 decision by the right-leaning court was a dark day in America, further asserting on how overseas the state with some of the most restrictive rules on firearms. The ruling could have a dramatic impact on half a dozen U.S. states with strict gun carry laws. Alongside New York and California, the states of Hawaii, Maryland, and New Jersey all require such permits, as does the District of Columbia. It was indeed a stunning victory for the National Rifle Association lobby group. The NRA brought the case along with 2 New York men who had been denied gun permits. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Listen in.
New York politicians expressed outrage on Thursday after the Supreme Court set a constitutional right to carry firearms outside the home for self-defense purposes. New York Governor Kathy Hochul called the decision by the Supreme Court outrageous and reckless at a time of national reckoning when it comes to gun violence after incidents here in New York and in Texas. New York Mayor Eric Adams, for his part, who is a former cop, said that the decision by the Supreme Court puts New Yorkers at greater risk of gun violence. Meanwhile, this landmark ruling by the Supreme Court comes at a time when a modest bipartisan gun safety measure is being advanced in the Senate. Both measures really demonstrate the sharp divide, the tapestry of opinions when it comes to firearms here in the United States. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World This World.